And I think that would actually be pretty big if Top Esports can kind of do what JDG did to Weibo last time around and play with the way that they want to approach the map. The Lee Sin, though, for Kanavi is a deadly one. Instantly locked in as an answer is the Viego.
Yeah, and now that Renekton going to be picked up first. JDG holding top lane the last pick, thinking they want counter for Flandre so we can get that pressure up in top side, but we'll see what he ends up opting into. I mean, now with, you know, things like the Rumble, things like the Twisted Fate, a lot of these things that can generate pressure in lane being taken off the table, it seems that the Jax might just have to be the go-to answer.
Ooh, and I want to shoot her over. Yes, let's go. The Jayce locked in here. Okay, so some little bit of spice being given over to JDG.
Yeah, and Flandre, he's been spamming this in solo queue nonstop, you know, even over the time when he was away not playing, racking up all those points in solo queue. So it's going to give them, again, kind of an interesting lane to be able to play around, have a bit of side pressure, have some poke that they can even lean in on later on in the game. But again, Top Esports comp just spells aggression.
That's what I wanted to focus on as well. It feels like they literally got what they needed to come for. They had a grocery shopping list coming into this best of 5. They went to the store, they read all the ingredients. They're like, oh, they're all right here in front of me. And it's a perfectly centered, aggressive comp for a Top Esports who has used that so well so far this split.
Yeah, again, that is exactly what they want to do. But still, they're going to have to contend with JDG having the Lee Sin on the opposite side. They're not going to be pushover, right? Hell, even the Neeko. They're going to be able to look to try to contest those 2v2s and make sure that plays aren't able to come through. That's where JDG haven't really excelled and where Top Esports has. So, again, it's going to be on that jungle matchup.
Such a legendary rivalry between these two organizations, and a best of 5 with a second life here, meaning that we might get to see the biggest flexes between the two. Top Esports swooped in and stole that second seed out from under JDG to finish the split. JDG came in, they dominated their first opponent in Weibo Gaming. They were looking forward to a rematch here, and it's Top Esports who had lost in the regular season to see if they'll make good here in playoffs. Top Esports versus JDG, the battle we've all been waiting for. Let the Titans be unleashed.
Oh, they're going to find him.
Ooh, that's going to be CCJ. Oh my God, missing, still going to go down. No way. It's Meiko of all people that gets first blood.
Not the end of the world for JDG, with the fact that Meiko picks it up, but still, as TS, you love that. And the only thing you even used for it was an Ignite. No flashes having to be burned to follow that one up, so nice bit of gold injection going to be there. We can see Meiko picking up those boots. They're going to have more speed to work with, especially, like you said, with some of those roam timings that can be there from Meiko this game.
God, he's going to have so much more Otis to do that now. Honestly, the way that he's going to be able to play the map changes a lot here. We'll see if they can utilize that, and Tian kind of hovering down towards that bot side. Now, we are looking at maybe mirrored starts here from both junglers, and I want to keep quick pathing eyes on them because Tian, known in his past, obviously, as a world champion with FPX, but for me, he is one of the biggest brains in terms of the way he approaches pathing early game for jungle. I think the Viego maybe tones that down a little bit more, but yeah. I'm very excited to see.
That's the thing, right? I don't know if we should expect too much from Tian until he's at 6 point. Probably going to be playing off of the opportunities that are available. But he's pathing towards top. You have a Renekton who has that W to set up a relatively easy gank onto a squishy champion like Jayce. So options will be there. You just have to rely on 369 being able to set it up.
And we will end up seeing, I think, Top Esports focus very heavily around getting first turret for themselves. I think in the regular season they had some ridiculous amount of percentage of first turret percentage. Oh my God, I'm looking at some of these records. It helps when you go 13-3 in the regular season.
I was gonna say,
God.
they went 29-8 in games, so there's a very good chance that almost everything they play is gonna be skewered like that. Hell, I mean, I guess JDG going a similar game, 27-12, but Yagao not having
those KDAs don't look the same, or those win percentage. I'm just saying, results-based analysis, and I'm looking at these results right now. Kanavi giving a nice hello to his fellow superstar jungler. He might actually take this blue buff out from under him too.
being able to use the prio they have in top. I even love Yagao making his way over. So utilizing this prio as well, trying to shut Tian down early, knowing he's the focal point of top esports usually in the early game, and now going to get some good counter jungling off, taking away these camps.
That's so big, and that's exactly what we would expect from, I feel like, the leading man for JDG. I said it the last time around, but the guy has literally been the pillar of the team, and now missing, goes in for an engage on the JackeyLove, but they fight right back on a ruler. He's going to burn his flash, a hail of arrows, and JackeyLove gets his first kill of the game. Missing, going to crash his way out of that one, but huge stuff from JackeyLove.
Yeah, JDG do respond in top lane. Somehow end up finding a kill onto 369 Yagao. Oh, I love it. Living life on the edge, chunking Creme down early. But yeah, a lot of action happening across the board. But the story still being JackeyLove and Meiko knowing how to dominate the 2v2. We're going to find out exactly what happened here is we got the all-in from 369.
Kanavi's just everywhere, man.
I mean, yeah, he was in the enemy topside jungle, so I gotta say it was a reasonable walk to make it into the top lane itself. But look at that vision control that he was able to get to, like, wards littered in TS's jungle. Hell, even one being in the Raptor camp. So having a pretty solid ward formation across the whole map.
And now we have to look at next steps because you know both these junglers are going to stay proactive even if they haven't hit that level 6 mark, especially now that Kanavi has a little bit of an advantage over Tian. Objectives are coming up. We have dragons on the bot side. We have the telegrubbies to watch on the top side of the map. And I think the way that dragons can go, especially with some of the early presence from top esports on the bottom side, behooves them to kind of start stacking those up.
Yeah, but I mean, for JDG, at this point, it's going to be hard to even just try to start contesting down towards bot side. You have those 2 longswords on JackeyLove. So yeah, it might just be all about reinforcing Flandre, playing for grubs, helping him get plates. As we can already see Kanavi make his way up there now.
Missing realizes he probably doesn't want to take that fight into very strong JackeyLove. Still does all of his health and damage, it feels like. Flandre roaming down on vision. They will know that the grubbies are being watched by JDG. Nothing to do about it, though, and all 3 will go over.
I love it. I love that this is the playoffs of Flandre. Man comes in.
It really is.
He's picking all these Chad champions. He's getting the resources from his team. The ganks are there. And now it's going to be about if he can push this one further, start putting 369 down.
He's actually been so impressive. And again, you got to remember, he was not playing. He was taking some time off and coming in for JDG and kind of taking Sheer, a new top laner, under his wing a little bit there. And now coming in playoffs, they're starting him, and it's looking mighty fine with his Jayce tech from his solo queue matchups. And we are going back down towards the spot side now.
But I do got to say, you saying, I haven't seen Flandre while taking time off makes it sound like he's like sitting in a champagne bath, drinking, drinking martinis.
Maybe he is.
I don't know why he's drinking
his
martinis in a
personal
champagne
life.
bath, but yeah. Flandre was a huge grinder in solo queue in the time he was away. So it's been nice to see him be able to keep up the form and, hell, again, maintain it in pro play, which is so different. But who cares about that now?
Ooh.
Octagon coming to life.
You just want to relive that day. Yagao is actually on his roam right now. Kanavi ends up completing his back. Top esports were waiting for a play, and just like ships in the night, they are passing. The dragon does go over the top, though.
The Octagon wasn't a day. The Octagon was weeks of LPL. The Octagon was weeks of coming into LPL and seeing, all right, we're like 5 minutes in the game. We're going to have a 4v4 bot side. 2 minutes later, rinse and repeat. That was for
I need more of that. Can I have more, please? Sir, may I have another?
I did like the amount of action we had, but it being the same every time. It's kind of nice to see it go.
Says you. We're biased there. We are just getting very calm early games, even though we've had a couple kills going over. Top esports definitely usually the more proactive early team in the games themselves, but they're getting pressed off by this JDG composition, who, again, I got to go back to. It feels like the prep that JDG have approached playoffs with has been really clean.
Yeah, and again, it hasn't really been changing too much of what they were doing in terms of composition. It's just about when they bring out certain champions.
Yeah.
We know Tian isn't going to get active, but I don't care about Tian right now. Kanavi.
He is level 6, but yeah, Kanavi's on the first timer. 369 knows what's coming. He's popping his dominance to make him look like a big, scary croc, but he's just going to be turned into boots nonetheless. JDG looking for a bot side play, get it turned on them. Although Yagao still wants to get the connection here. JackeyLove getting his health bar chunked from him though, turning it back on a Ruler. Does end up going down and gives Ruler his first kill of the game.
Yeah, so they end up being able to go 1-for-1. I love the idea by JDG. You're committing Kanavi up top, your strong side, to find an advantage. And in the meantime, you see Creme back off, so it gives Yagao the window to also cover for his weak side. Had he been able to get there a bit sooner, right, it could have just been a full-on huge win for JDG on both sides of the map. But still, nice job covering there. Because we're going to get a replay to see it exactly go down.
Wow.
Once again, the hook just connecting. But still, they're able to get the cleanse. At this point, I believe JackeyLove not having his flash up. So he knows he's just going to end up going down. If he could have found Ruler too, it would have been massive, but just not able to do so.
Would have been really big, but now we're getting to a point where we've gotten some resources developed onto the map, so I want to approach a little bit of the game state itself. It definitely feels like Kanavi can still be very active, but for JDG as a whole, they got to watch out for what's happening in bot lane. And I think that combination we typically see between him and Yagao needs to start coming alive now that we've hit level 6s and the setup point for that.
Exactly, and I think most of it's going to be centered around enabling your bot lane, but you can see TS don't want to give away, you know, 5-6 grubs to JDG, so some pings have already gone down on it. They already have a ward on grubs, but it looks like JDG might even expect that with the fact that Kanavi and Yagao leaning down towards bot side.
And for top esports in these nice moments, it definitely feels like they have a lot of pick strength. If they can get a single target, you know, CC chain, they'll find the resets for Tian, which I feel like relies a lot in their team fight if top esports are going to come out on top of it. But it's going to be about coordination and team selection for them, especially with Creme's charms, things like that.
Right, you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be great in finding picks for like small skirmishes, but even in 5v5s. The great thing is you have Meiko on the Nautilus, so as long as you can guarantee a hook or the ulti there, the CC chain should be able to come through and guarantee Tian the first one, which then, right, you could chain it into a winning team fight. But if Tian especially gets taken down early, it could be hard. Creme as well, you're really relying on the Spirit Rush recharges to be able to keep following down, especially mobile targets like Ruler on the Zeri.
Yeah. We also have first items being completed right now. Sundered Sky for Kanavi. We also got the Eclipse for Flandre. Got the opportunity down bot side for JackeyLove, but we're going back top side to what will be an octagon up here, I guess. Top-tagon.
A lot of people are making their way
Kanavi,
up.
they don't know that Tian's here, and now they will spot him out. They realize the 2v2 could be a little bit more dicey. Missing has made his way here. JDG are going to TP in as well. They got Creme here, and we're looking at a full-on team fight as they are actually running Ruler up from mid lane now. And they're just going to use a little bit of resources here as TP was burned by JDG. Oh no, Meiko's the one that gets caught. They use everything on him and they'll take him out. And they actually get 450 gold over to missing.
Small mistake coming out from Meiko, trying to take that path in. I don't know if he was going to put a ward down or was just checking to see what kind of pathing they were taking down through the river, but obviously gets pun. No, not twice in a row.
Oh, he doesn't get the CC chain there as he doesn't get locked out. Oh, Ruler, the gunslingers. I said there's not space in this town for the two of us, and they are trying to fight at fisticuffs. No, Flandre, this is their fight. He's going to get flashed out of, and JackeyLove tried to chase him down with that hail of arrows. TES not one to back down from a scrap, and Kanavi walks into the foot. What is happening? We're seeing mind control live right now, Lyric.
You know, people don't like the dark, Mazel. They want to know what's in those brushes. Sadly, though, I don't know if they should want to know. Because it's not working out for either team. Again, almost didn't work out for TES, too, like literally back-to-back. Thank God.
We've seen those in horror movies. Like, it's obvious not to walk into the room, but they walk in anyways, and then all of a sudden there's blood splattered all over the screen. Dragon number 2 is going to go to top esports, though, so we have very stark contrast in the early objective focus.
Be able to pick this one up, so another Drake going over to their side. They really haven't fallen that much, you know, that far behind in gold, even with all the plays and aggression we've been seeing up towards top. So I think things still in a pretty decent spot, especially now as top esports being able to answer some of those item completions too, with Tian finally getting that Sundered Sky.
That's very big for the Viego. I really like that Flandre was able to take that first turret up there as well. They got so much gold on him, even though the CS differential is not that high. JDG with a first turret win percentage of 88%. I know we get that information, but I think it's important to focus on because I think JDG, our team that we highlighted in the draft, loves to take it to team fights, loves to take it to later game because they know that they are just better at it.
Yeah, I mean, JDG's team fighting is just immaculate. And it feels like it's always been the case, right? Whether you're going back to like 2019, 2020, or like future eras, right? People thinking 2022 and 2023. It's just crazy they've been able to keep that up for so long. You got to wonder how much of that goes to Kanavi really being the only consistent piece throughout all that time. Speaking of, he's trying to get run down.
Meiko, he's felt that mistake early, wants to make good on it. Top Esports will move in, get some pressure around this top side. They did end up denying that stack of the grubs, but there is a Rift Herald coming up. Could be a big difference maker here, even though the plates are falling now. We will see some movement from both JackeyLove and Ruler to mid lane. So those team fights are going to start coming fewer and far, and I guess closer between.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this Herald approach goes, because obviously both mid laners in bot don't have TPs. So it would just be a full-on 4v4 if anything breaks out in TS.
They just want to start it. I like it.
I mean, they have their Renekton, so I think they especially are feeling incredibly strong if a 4v4 broke out right now. So it seems like JDG reading that, end up backing off. I mean, their strongest teamfight piece right now would be the Neeko. So without Yagao being here, I think it makes sense.
We're going to spot out a little bit of vision on this bottom side of the map, and right now we're just buying our time. And I want to talk about who that works out for a little bit better, where we talked a lot about the strengths inherently in JDG's players, but also their team composition has a lot of team fight potential. Top Esports on the other side, a little bit harder to execute. They are going to have a lot of strength in that Tian Creme combo.
It's just going to come down to the timing, like you said, because, right, if this game goes super late, I mean, you have this Zeri going up against a lethality Varus. So we know, at least in terms of DPS, JDG will hard outscale. But TS now are going to have solid 1-2 items where they are feeling completely fine going into those team fights. And again, a lot going to bank on 369's power, being able to enable those resets for Tian.
Already down a little bit in the Renekton matchup there. They did try to give him a little bit of help there. The fighting ended up not giving ever too many resources back, and that's where, Flandre's entrance onto this JDG roster has been really awesome to watch, especially against ZDZ, kind of shutting him down. Now going to be a big damage source in the at least standoffs that JDG are going to be looking to have in front of those objectives.
I just want to imagine that Flandre was sitting there in his rocker being like, back in my day, and someone just walks in and says it's time to go, rips off the old man beard, puts on some lotion, moisturizes, and is just ready to go on the hunt. Because that's how it's looked. That's how it's looked in the game so far since Flandre's came back.
Got a bunch of the cheers outside of as soon as he was coming out on the stage, with the performance that he was able to have against Viego, shutting the door on them and earning the Guardian Angel. The guy got 3 MVPs in a 3-game series. That doesn't give you any context, then I guess maybe go watch the games. But we do have Dragon coming up in about 45 seconds or so. Let's see what kind of pressure move we have from both sides down that way. We already have a lot of vision down there from JDG as well. We will also have TPs for 369 and Flandre.
This TS JDG game, not as Kanavi. Okay,
You were about to say it, weren't you? You were about to say it.
No. I was going to say hasn't been as bloodthirsty as this series pretty much always is.
But you were going to say it, then they were going to fight, but you didn't say it, so they didn't fight. You have to remember your power as a caster cursor.
They're not going to fight. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. I feel like I'm misled, but Drake's coming up. They actually, JDG do want to fight this though, right? Because this would be sole point for TES. With no action, all sums are up across the board.
JDG entering their comfort zone in the team fights. They will just start up the Dragon. No contest coming out from Top Esports. Nothing else for them to get besides maybe a topside tower as well. And JDG will stop the stacking. As Top Esports crash the Rift Herald in mid-side, they will not get the turret in the end. They did get the top side.
Yeah, taking it conservatively, going the safe route, clearly not having confidence with JDG already being in the area. still gonna make the most of it, be able to get gold on the top side. They were hoping to be able to get a mid lane turret, but Yagao did utilize the TP to be able to make sure that one couldn't come to fruition. So you got a little bit used by JDG, but JDG gonna be incredibly happy that they stopped that stacking.
And I do want to bring up the conversation of Yagao. I feel like it is a bit of an elephant in the room. You know, we have seen him and Knight trade places so many times, but a lot of people wonder why Yagao always finds consistent places on top teams, and maybe he's been lacking in some moments on the international stage, but he really just is that guy, I feel like, for a lot of teams. I know we've talked a lot about it before, but he's a vibes guy. He also has that flexibility to play towards your junglers and things that we were talking in draft as well.
He also is just one of the best mid laners in the league.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know what you're saying. Sometimes it seems like the discussion around him, he gets eclipsed by other players, and it could he just falls to the wayside. But Yagao always delivering against some of his control, especially in team fights. How he controls space is massive.
Especially now on a Neeko. He's going to have a lot of that to
And
show up
hell,
here.
just wait for Zoe to be back in the meta.
True.
You know how many years? You know how many
back.
years it's been since we've seen Yagao Zoe? Like, people don't even know.
Since I first came into the LPL, which you know, makes me sad. Anyways, we get top esports taking yet another turret, so it'll be another side lane turret. They still haven't cracked the mid outer yet. We'll at least take advantage in that regard here. We are going to be getting second items, particularly Flandre already having his second item, and Yagao.
Yeah, so that as compared to JackeyLove now being able to get his Edge of Night too. So a lot of power going to be on JDG right now. It feels weird because neither team seems anywhere near
We just want 5-on-5s.
in looking for a tussle. JDG, of course, we know they have a big setup. They have Rell that could change perfectly into a Neeko and give room, so much room for Ruler to be able to do as he pleases. That being what TES fears. TES, like you said, hoping to play a bit more off picks. They've kept Creme at 369 in sides to try to set something up, but JDG really never have given the opportunity over.
Feels like you're entering the lair of the behemoth a little bit. JDG's comfort zone is those late game team fights. Top esports, they have been so successful when they've had early advantages and are able to snowball that. Yes, they are still incredible players. Yes, they can still team fight with the best of them, but that is JDG's comfort zone, especially with a composition like this. So it's telling that, you know, in the first best of 5, top esports want to test their mettle in their best comfort zone.
Oh, okay, they were starting to chase down Flandre. You can see he was backing off on the minimap, but Flandre quickly realizes, backs off, and that's the example, right? JDG aren't giving the opportunities over for that TS are looking for. TS are doing a nice job by doing that. Push out bot, bring all of JDG down, get you tempo to go and finally take this mid turret. But it's not really translating into too much more.
Dead even game, 21 minutes. I haven't been able to say that a lot in these playoffs so far. Especially in this side of the bracket, but we are getting to the top of our ladder. And a lot of our stronger teams, top esports, taking it slow and steady now. We have about 1 minute and 10 seconds for another dragon. Would be a soul point for them. You have to remember this is a mountain soul as well, so some extra tankiness available to both sides. And honestly, it would be very nice to have for either.
You know, since it seems like we got a bit of time before this dragon comes up, you said, you know, TS might have to beware because late game is JDG's comfort zone. But to, like, bring it to an analogy, right? The orange Hawaiian shirt might be JDG's favorite shirt that they own.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that top esports don't look better in the orange Hawaiian shirt.
Better in it.
You know what I mean? You know?
Ooh,
I'm not
okay.
saying they do, but, you know, they
Now I'm just
don't
imagining like top esports in Hawaiian shirts, specifically 369 for some reason, like an orange Hawaiian shirt.
seems
That
like
sounds
that
awesome.
kinda guy.
Like the orange Hawaiian shirt guy. Yeah, honestly, I need a Photoshop of that now. Please, my brain is wanting. We need the whole top esports team in Hawaiian shirts. They are going to be partying their way down to this bot side though, because we have a dragon coming up here. Lyric. Ooh, engage going in now for Meiko. Early engage to try to. Yeah, they have 369 over there on the side. He is going to find it. Slice and dice doesn't connect in the end. The double. Kanavi gets out with about half his health here. Clone going to be engaged on by top esports. Yen takes a sonic wave. JDG in an awkward place here, Lyric.
Yeah, I mean, TS are doing a nice job at stopping them from coming in, but at the same time, it's been a little bit disjointed. No one really ready to follow up when we saw 369 jump in. Creme.
Oh, he gets locked down, dragged down. Flandre's gone. That's a lot of your poke from JDG, and they immediately back off. That will be Top Esports' third dragon.
What a great idea, utilizing that wall to play over and find the pick. Like you said, third dragon going to be picked up for TS, one away from Seoul. Now it's going to be about getting vision towards that top side and seeing if we get any Baron dances coming through. TS sadly didn't get any flashes from JDG that you can maybe reliably look for another pick off of, but still, great pickup.
Yeah. I call it the death wall for a reason, and I feel like it stuck to its name this time around. Flandre not expecting the rush of the wall.
No, yeah, just great by Creme. Lands the charm, sets up for everyone else to be able to jump in off the back of it. And now, this is where TS should start being able to thrive. Push out top, get into enemy jungle, get some vision down, and that's especially where, right, the Ahri and the Viego can start taking over. But JDG, they have shied away from giving over any opportunities for picks, so might not be as easy as TS would hope.
They do have a lot of the decision-making power now that they have their third dragon, so they'll be able to next spawn at least be able to dictate where JDG can go. We also got a third item completed for JackeyLove, and we were talking about consistency with this guy. He's consistently been a huge namesake for Top Esports of recent history, but also on the Rift. He has been consistently the carry for them as they go into team fights, and I think on the Varus, with a little bit of the flexibility it provides, and at least this damaging build with some poke given back to him, it's going to be strong.
Yeah, again, JackeyLove is a guy you can believe in to help get you over the finish line. He really just has been such a premier carry for TES. And again, we were complaining about like light being on lethality champions. JackeyLove is not someone I'm going to complain about being on champions that are strong early, that can dominate the early game and really take it all the way. We can see them now doing exactly what we were talking about, right? Pushing an enemy jungle, getting all this vision set up to hopefully use your CC to get a pick.
They're looking for the top side fight. Ooh, Chains of Corruption ended up getting used by JackeyLove, but he got a lot of damage on Kanavi in the end. Not able to get that control ward fight under his belt there, though. Are going to be left wanting in that regard, but we go to a calm state now that JDG has backed off a little bit. I think backing off might not be in their blood here. 369 gets engaged on by Yagao. He's able to tank his way up, though, and sustain, slices dice through. That Sterix gauge by a second item just came in so clutch, and 369 rolls a couple nines.
Ends up getting away. If Kanavi and Yagao opted to following, well, he would have ended up being dead, but again, you know they're in mid lane. You don't know how fast they can get there to reinforce him, so I think it's a good call by JDG. You use some ults, you got to flash out. That's not going to be a problem in the next Drake fight. Was missing, does get away. So yeah, I feel like overall for JDG, they're feeling really happy off of just ganking bot and getting that flash.
Flandre now also completing his third item with the Shrelnia's Grudge. That's going to be very big for their standoff potential here for JDG. I find that while we have seen a very calm and steady game for them, they are in their comfort zone, as I had mentioned earlier, and I think Ruler is going to have a lot to say once he gets his third item. We are going to be getting to another big team fight here potentially, and it feels like this game is at a potential to blow open, right? That next big fight could be the difference maker. And, you know, if Top Esports catch out Yagao, it's big too. That flash is going to be massively missed in that next dragon fight.
And I would say that flash going to be even more missed than 369's, right? I mean, you were hoping to find that huge Pop Blossom onto the carries for TES, but now it's going to be so much harder. So the counter play is there. JDG, though, the team that controls River Vision right now, I love it. Kanavi trying to intimidate, trying to put so much fear in JackeyLove's heart.
Smite away his shield. How dare he?
Do you think it worked?
Yes. Yeah, well, because JackeyLove's more scared to step up now. You know? Maybe it's a little bit of difference. Ooh. Also, Ruler has completed his third item now, the Navori.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is where we'll be able to start seeing Ruler really get some damage down in these fights. Again, the hard thing for him is just the amount of pressure that he has to worry about with especially Viego and Ahri at this point, right? The one thing that the Renekton Flash does do is it means at least now Ruler won't have to feel as much threat coming from 369. But a lot's going to have to do with JackeyLove starting off, right? JackeyLove starts off with a poke. You know, maybe Meiko goes in on whichever squishier target. Maybe Kanavi, Flandre is up front. And then you have Creme, Tian, 369 all opening the floodgates, rushing the backline.
That's the ticket in. That is how Top Esports picks apart the team fight of JDG. They have to cut the leader off at the head. And that'll be Ruler needing to be shut down early into these fights. Top Esports can get those resets, and that's big. But JDG, they want to take a bit of a front to back. They want to poke down with Flandre, and they want to keep Ruler alive. We're getting close to this dragon now, Lyric.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? Because neither side really has a ton of poke. I guess JDG have a bit more just because of Zeri being able to throw that out, but Varus and the Jayce just hammering away at each other.
Oh, Meiko tries to go for the engage, though. JDG doing a really nice standout. Honestly, Top Esports are in an awkward position around the wall right there. They will end up moving away from mid lane as the wave crashed. Meiko go for another one, can't hit it. JDG are forcing the hooks out from Top Esports now, and they're slowly inching their way towards this dragon pit.
Yeah, I mean, TS are getting chunked. They feel a need to engage.
Oh, they don't need Meiko's hook because they've got Creme. And now resets are coming through here one by little one. Creme is off in the back line, and Ruler is trying to make those plays, but JackeyLove's got an arrow to the heart, and he's going to take out the gunslinger of JDG. I said all you needed was one more fight, and that lead has exploded.
JDG not able to bring it together in the late game team fight. TES being led by Creme, finding the opportunity. I'm sorry, I said you weren't a superstar mid laner. I did not recognize your game, Creme, because my God, this man finding really the two big picks that propelled TS forward both times.
Dude, I have to say, Meiko missing the 3 hooks in a row, it was all a bait. It was all planned. I'm maybe thinking too far into it, but my God, you get so comfortable knowing that Meiko doesn't have hook that you step up and then Creme comes over the wall. No way, not like this. Not like this. Okay.
I'm saying no to you overreading Meiko missing the hook. You know, maybe we could say missed one of them for that reason, but
it's all a bait.
They were really getting desperate with the poke coming through, but there it was. I mean, that charm is so crucial. You give the first reset over to Viego, missing then in desperation jumps in to try to make sure that no one else can run forward. Just leads to all of JDG getting.
And guess what? That last fight, it was over Dragon. Dragon didn't get taken, so we're right back to it. And it's going to be Kanavi denying the soul from them. Creme coming over the wall now, though. Pop Blossom on multi-members, though. They can't get Ruler, but finally JackeyLove comes in clutch. JackeyLove is the one putting in the sights. He's got his trigger pulled, and that's a double kill for the most consistent AD carry of Top Esports. A triple, maybe looking for a quadra. One more piercing arrow, and that's it. A quadra kill for JackeyLove!
And TS have the wave. They can push this one forward and bring us to a game win. We'll see. 10 seconds on missing. Is it enough?
They have a lot of damage with JackeyLove. He is on his 4th item now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. They're going to try to push it.
Do they want to risk it, or do you just go for the 2 inhibs and back off? You don't risk it. 10 seconds, not enough.
Don't risk it for the biscuit.
Okay,
no,
obviously.
They don't want the biscuit.
Yeah, 10 seconds on Ruler being too much. If it was only missing, it would have been fine, but a huge moment for TS.
Dude.
Honestly, when the initial Dragon take came through, I thought TS stole it just because the objective bounty got picked up for JDG. So it's like, oh, it got stolen. No. JDG
God, Creme.
Yeah, Creme getting in there, being able to deal a huge amount of damage. The combos are there from JDG in the latter half of this fight, but you weren't on top of JackeyLove because he wasn't here, and the 369 really just isn't taking all that much damage at this point. Pops the dominance, keeps running at home, and it allows for JackeyLove to get that quadra.
Dude, what a game start off by Creme. I love that JackeyLove's getting all the praise here. A lot of the gold is his way, but Creme has now started off 2 separate fights that are game deciders, it feels like. We went from a dead even game to about a 3K lead for Top Esports to now they have ballooned that to over 6,000 gold, and it just strikes that quickly when you're at the tippy top.
They look better in the orange Hawaiian shirt. I was saying it this whole time.
They do. I'll give you that. They do.
The late game team fight was LTS were still able to bring it over the top now. I like this. They have 2 waves of super minions to be able to play off of. It's gonna pull JDG back at some point. Keep 369 shadowing with that wave to give it just the extra bit of juice with the Baron buff. This should lead to this turret going down at some point.
What I love about this performance from Top Esports is they were the ones with a little bit of time here in their first series coming out, but they just came out swinging here, and they have executed together well, because that's what we highlighted with this composition. They're going to have to cohese very well. They're going to have to find a target, get them down, get resets, and get fighting afterwards, and they've done that well against JDG.
And now you have Guardian Angel picked up for JackeyLove, so not only gonna have to kill him once, but you're going to have to kill him twice. It's not gonna get easier from here, and I mean, hell, with the 2 waves of supers, right, you're really hoping for one of the squishy members of TS, you know, Creme or JackeyLove, to overstep and be able to find that pick. But not only does JackeyLove have GA, his cleanse is still up, and his flash is gonna be up very soon. It's going to be really hard for JDG to find that perfect opportunity. Probably going to take some kind of insect coming out from Kanavi and really isolating JackeyLove from the rest of the team.
If there's somebody to do it, it is Kanavi on his Lee Sin. Ruler has also completed his 4th item now, so getting very close to full build on the Zeri. That consistent damage is going to be very important to keep an eye on, but we've seen them be able to target him out multiple times. Creme is just magnetic with the charms onto Ruler, and he's going to have to find a way to dodge them out a little bit longer here, as JackeyLove feeling very confident to step forward.
Yeah, just still trying to utilize just 2 waves of inhibs. But the bot wave was, wait, engage coming through. Kanavi.
He's on 369 here. He does end up getting him as Yagao going to pop the Pop Blossom, and that's 400 gold. The Yagao and JDG will lose their topside turret here. JackeyLove is stepping up. Creme. Oh, he doesn't get the charm there, but it's TES who are moving in, moving out now. JDG lose their base. They won't have any turrets left available except for their Nexus turrets, and they'll lose another inhib too.
Yeah, TS, I think if there's an opening there, they could have probably won a 4v5 with ults not being up, but now the health has gotten back through.
He's got a big ol' engage at the Tangle Barb too, and JDG, they have taken the mistake of Top Esports, turned it into a knife, and stabbed it into their heart. They'll cut this lead, and they will end up getting a flash out of Yagao there in the end to try to follow down Creme and JackeyLove. They try to take Creme out, but he'll use his Spirit Rush there, and JDG, they're still alive and kicking.
Yeah, TS ended up overstaying a bit. I think if TS, like, had a fight right when 369 died, when, like, people like Yagao and Kanavi were missing a bit of health, you could have probably found an advantageous position. It would have been there, but giving them time to go with that TP flank, opening up for JDG, but 369, he has no fear.
He is. Kanavi, that's the GA pop there as well. They are in front of the Dragon Pit, needing to get Yagao over here. The Scuttle Crab will be taken by JDG. They're going to start up the Dragon, get Kanavi a little bit of healing here, but Top Esports have some big guns to aim at JDG. They won't be able to take the Dragon, though. And in the end, JDG will get their 3rd Mountain Dragon.
And luckily for JDG, they're able to commit everyone here because 369 and Creme did not have teleports. So they didn't have to worry about them being able to go in, backdoor the base, just end the game outright. Going to be able to keep themselves in it for a bit longer. They're getting tankier with those 3 Mountain Drakes being picked up, but TS quickly going towards Baron.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, they're just going to get this.
I mean, that's a full item build, JackeyLove, and they just take it out right from under the noses of JDG. There was no response on the map because they put all their presence bot side, and Baron buff secured for Top.
I mean, right, even with how the past few moments have gone, with like some kills going over to JDG, them being able to get themselves on soul point, still having all the map control in the world for TES, but still now you're facing a 4.5 item Zeri, so Ruler's still only getting bigger and bigger.
He is.
Even having some sustain built in now, just in case he has to deal with any of that poke coming out from JackeyLove. And now one of the advantages has flipped. Now it's Ruler having all of his sums up, JackeyLove not having the cleanse or the flash, so there actually is some potential danger here for TS in the map right now.
I think another thing we come back to is the conversation we've said the entire time from JDG. They are just ruthless when it comes to team fights later in the game. Now, they are far behind. That makes it very difficult to approach in any way. But we've seen them be able to buy some time here where that big gold differential isn't going to matter on some of the key carries.
No, right. I mean, hell, like, Ruler's almost full build. And it's like, so what? He is less gold than JackeyLove. But TS looking to take advantage of that now. You need to be careful. JDG are going to hope to just engage on one side and 369 showing somewhere else.
Oh, Meiko goes in. He's sacrificing his life here. They have to get something in return. He is going to go down now, re-engage coming in from top esports. So they're very split. They are completely head off the 369. He needed to get on the back line there, and it doesn't matter how much you try to split the fight. Top esports are just that far ahead. They take down Ruler, they take down Kanavi, and they'll take down game number 1. They just have to take some bodies with them here.
Honestly, oh wait, but will they? The fight's still going.
Gotta attack the Nexus here, but they want blood. They want to make the difference here as JackeyLove will pick up some more kills. He'll go 8-1-8 in his first game against Ruler in top esports. Welcome to playoffs.
My God, man, 369 is such a hero in that last play because off to the side, Tian tried to ult in on, I believe it was missing. It was super low. Didn't end up connecting it, so couldn't reset. So 369 making the play there was really the only way that the TS turned that around and win that fight.
Woo! We had everything. We had a slow early game. All the time to talk about narratives we could ever want. I know that's my favorite. Then we had a dead even game. All of a sudden, Creme coming in with giant engages to make the difference. They get out so far ahead, and JDG, they scrap. They can't make it all the way through, and I think it's a top esports that we were waiting to see, and it's JDG who are now on the back foot, which is not often for them, even though they had won against top esports in the regular season. Now, that is it for game number 1. You're going to take a little break, everybody, and you're going to come back here for game number 2. We'll see you there.